Rolling, yep, it looks like it. Are we up? Everything's looking good. You got anything important for us today? Why not? Is there just going to be another wasted day? Just another blow it off, right? No. I remember that. Well, tell your neighbor to come out here then. I don't care about that. I just need to have to clean the shack up and something to fix and make place for something like that. But I gotta get under it. I get under it. No. Then I gotta crawl under it, right? But who's gonna help me get up? It's time. Tis time, tis time, tis time. Hey, y'all. Do, 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 do. Okay, you ready? And I guess we're going to do some sing along with Mitch today. Do you remember that TV show, Sing Along with Mitch?
Yes,
the bouncing ball.
yes,
You're
yeah.
too young.
I remember
Mitch
it.
Miller?
Mitch Miller.
I know exactly who Mitch Miller is.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah, but did you remember him on TV? Had to sing along, and the little ball bounced
I
along.
do remember a
Yes.
bouncy ball.
Okay,
Yes.
that was him.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barris.
And fresh off of the highway. Let's see, from that light to here is 3/4 of a mile. You made it at 42 seconds, and you were stopped at the time you got.
I was stopped when I sent you
Uh-huh.
that text. Yes.
Yes, because she does not text while she's driving.
No, I will not text and drive.
She voice texted.
Did you see my reply?
Is that
No.
good? I didn't.
I heard
said-
it come through.
You
though.
said, I'm at the light. And I says, as long as you don't see the light,
Well, that's good point. True.
be ever so careful.
Mhm.
You know, that intersection up here, Piney Green Road and 17, that's called Pumpkin Center location. It's not Piney Green.
Mhm.
Pumpkin
It's
Center.
Pumpkin Center, but it's the Piney Green Road. Going up, we had railroad trains and stuff here
Okay.
back in those days. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Yeah, that was an unprotected crossing. The railroad people said it was protected because they had a couple of those X signs up there, but
Oh, that don't mean anything.
I know of at least 3 fatalities that occurred there, train hit cars going through there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How would you not hear the train? Don't they
'Cause
blow
you-
their little whistle?
Well, yeah, but you know,
Maybe your music's too
have you
loud.
heard a radio in a car
Oof.
and
Yeah.
all the music the people listen
I hear other
and
people's
they
radios too.
drive across it, and then there's a train coming at 60, 70 miles an hour coming
Yeah.
this way. And
Right.
stop, look, and listen. Well, by the time you stop and look, and say, oh my.
Yeah.
Too
Oh,
late.
wow. Oh, that's
So,
sad.
anyway, there were at least 3 of them up there that I can recall growing up. So anyway, that was, of course, when I was headed for the driver's license thing. That was the biggest warning that I had.
I'm telling you, that'll make you think.
Oh, yes.
That did me. Because, passed by one of them one day, and the train was still there, and it had backed away, and the car was all mangled up.
Oh, wow.
Goodness gracious.
Kelly, do you remember a couple years ago, the railroad crossing arm got stuck in a down position up here on 24, right there at
Yes.
24?
I do remember that. Yes.
Whoops.
Do remember that.
That was a bad thing.
That's a
You know,
traffic tie-up.
The annual thing that really was a real bummer was at Riceville Beach. They put the bridge up every hour
I was
for
gonna say the
boats to go
bridge.
through, and it got stuck up. It would come down. Only way on and off that island is via that bridge.
That happened to me on
Holy Moses.
at the Base Bridge years
Mhm.
ago.
I remember when that occurred.
And
So it's one.
I had an idea.
5 years ago.
Me having an idea way back when,
Mm-hmm.
I was thought about getting me one of those little buckets
Mm-hmm.
and it says toll written on it and getting one of those little orange jackets. And every time the bridge goes up, once an
Mhm.
hour, you just park over there and you go by and you pick the cars with out of state tags. They don't know any different.
Well, around here, that'd be every other
So
car.
Well, in
mean.
Wilmington,
So-
at Riceville Beach, going
You're
over,
so
and then you go by
mean.
and say, it's $1 to go across the bridge. Tolls, please, just go up and down the line. I was curious how long I could do that before I'd get caught.
You could pay a mortgage in like 2 days with that.
Yeah, I forgot how many thousands of cars during the summertime pass that bridge.
Well, it's like some of those people that you see on the street corner holding up signs saying homeless. Do you have a buck? Not
Yeah, I'm
all of
gonna
them are
keep-
homeless.
Not all of them are homeless.
Not all of them.
Find, trail them to their cars parked behind them.
Exactly.
Trail them to their BMW.
Did you
yeah.
ever get confronted or approached by sewing needles?
Yes.
Sewing needles?
They used to come
For
in
the
a-
blind.
For
the
the
blind
blind.
people do it. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
And they were supposedly blind, and I'm sure some of them were,
Mhm.
but they would come up and they were, they stand on a corner somewhere, white tip cane, and the
Right.
whole kit and caboodle, and dark glasses, and offering these for sale. They were like 50 cents for a package of sewing needles.
I kind of do remember that.
Where they
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
these, I have no idea. But
China.
we couldn't even find China in those days. But
They were mailed. They were ordered from a company out of China.
but these sewing needles, I mean, it's not a bad deal, I guess.
Right.
Today it'd be a great deal, 50 cents a pack, because they had at least 100 in a pack.
That would be nice.
So whatever.
I think they need to make needles with a larger eye on them, though. Trying to thread a needle.
But just give it to younger people.
Oof.
Or
Terrible.
I've got a device that I use for soldering and stuff. It's got 2 alligator clips and got a magnifying glass
Oh,
on the top of it.
I
So-
need that.
Oh, you can buy them. It's hump day today, and one day closer to the end of the windy month. And with any
Yes.
luck, the beginning of April showers, the days when yellow pools of yellow water flow off of our cars onto the driveway, seeking a low place to puddle. It's not the morning after a night of the watering hole behind the bar. This is pollen. For
Mhm.
whatever reason, pine trees produce volumes of yellow powder. Oh yeah, April, tax day, coming up, the middle of the month. The middle of a beautiful month that results in the most honest people in the world looking high and low for stuff they bought that they can call deductions. How many people have been through their bank accounts besides me looking for stuff? Because we have to buy a lot of stuff.
Oh,
in here.
mine's all basic. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
just take
I
the
know
standard
mine.
deduction.
no, I do the long form, but it's
Oh, really?
very simple.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very
I,
simple.
mine's simple too. I just make a note of all the stuff that I bought and send it to the accountant.
You would be more involved because of the business aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
uh-huh.
I don't know that, so I don't have to worry about that.
Spectrum here, spectrum there, this,
Right.
that, whatever.
Do you
Gracious.
still get a certain percentage for using a dedicated space?
Oh
within-
yeah, well, you do
residence.
that,
Yes.
and this is a fairly easy one to show. Here.
Very good. I don't know.
It was
the
a lot.
tax laws
It's a lot
changed so
easier
much.
here than using a little room in your house and calling it an office.
Or using that little room in the back corner of where we were before in
Yeah.
the closet.
Well, that whole we didn't.
yes.
That wasn't us. That
Right,
was
right.
them. Somebody else had to do
Yes.
that. They
Well,
dealt with
you
all
do
that
what you
stuff.
have to do, though.
Yep. So anyway, it's lots going on today. We're going to be talking with some folks at about quarter after, you say now,
Quarter after 8.
from the Wreaths Across America,
Right.
and Chris Marks is going to be in here.
He's going to come in
Okay,
and
good.
coordinate it for us.
Very
And
good. So-
what it is, it's a Gold Star family that drives the
Mhm.
bus that's used for exhibitions and
I-
education.
I'm assuming that everyone out there knows what a Gold Star family is, but
Yes.
sometimes I assume wrong.
I believe they had lost, parents
member of
had
their
lost
family.
a son,
Mhm.
but it's a father and his other son. They're the ones that they go around driving the exhibition from state to state, location to location, which they arrived day before yesterday. And they were going to be in the studio,
Right.
but the father's sick.
We don't want him in the studio.
And so I talked to Chris
And
last
nothing
night.
personal, but
Right. He said he was really, really sick. And we said, well, okay. I said, they're going to call in
Okay.
and Chris will help, take care of that. I told him to come in
I'm
so
going to
he
put a
can.
mask over Kelly's headphones
Yeah.
to protect her, just in case.
Oh my gosh.
We've got to
Yeah,
have with the
we definitely-
microphones.
We definitely know if you're sick, please, we'd rather you call it. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah,
so.
well, it's nothing personal
Yeah,
and
nothing- they
nothing
know
to make
that,
too much
right.
light of, but for everyone's benefit. That's
Right.
the way we like to do it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
what telephone support.
Kelly, speaking of 18-wheelers and buses and stuff, have you been by them all lately?
Yes, but trust me, I didn't need to. My grandson had already informed me
Oh, he got it
before.
highlighted, huh?
He loves that ridiculous thing. Yes, it
looks
starts
like a
tomorrow,
mini
by the way.
fair.
Well, some people's enjoyment might not be yours.
I just think,
It's like a mini fair in the parking lot over
yes,
at the
Ooh,
Sears.
carnival.
it starts tomorrow.
Does it?
He's already excited. Yes.
So is he camping out there?
No, but he's already planned when he's going.
Okay.
I'm not taking him, but no, his dad's doing it. So.
Megan. Yeah, bless him.
My daughter and I just shook our head.
I don't get on those rides of any kind.
They're
I never
dangerous.
did as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I just never.
I did
wanted
as a
them.
kid, but smart, know better. I don't. No way.
Well, I know the city has to go and inspect, or somebody does. They go and inspect.
That
single
don't
bike.
mean nothing.
I'm right there with you, Kelly.
Uh-huh.
I'm right there with you.
Because those things are taken up and put down weekly. No, but he also goes for the some of the food, and he likes to play the games.
Oh,
Yeah, he'll spend more time playing those rigged games than anything else.
well, they must have felt sorry for me because I got teddy bears. I
He
got all
has
sorts
to
of
got a
stuff.
fish last year.
A fish.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the
A fake
fish.
no a real fish.
A real fish.
Yeah,
No,
A
the little
goldfish?
goldfish. in
yeah.
the
My
bottle.
daughter was not pleased. Yes.
Well, there's a toilet.
That's
Yeah.
like at the
Wow.
school carnivals. We always came home with
With
goldfish.
fish, yeah,
My mother's like, oh.
yeah.
And of course, they'd go belly up 2 days later.
Saying that's what happened to his. He had it named. He was,
Flush him
he
down
was
the
distraught, but
Yes.
what can you do?
Do you have a burial for it?
He did. Yes.
Should have taken it to the ocean, though.
But he just
From sea to shining sea.
Feed it to the cat.
yeah. he
That too.
just- the fish is under the tree.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Also coming up this morning in about 20 minutes, we've got Dr. Rosemary Stein going to be joining us, pediatrician, our kind of concierge, since we are all kind of young and.
Are you going to ask her about the denage,
Well,
deno,
I knew what it was until you started talking.
Yeah.
Dengue.
Yeah.
dengue?
It's
There you
like
go.
dengue, except
Well,
it's
dengue.
dengue
Okay.
fever.
Gotcha.
And it's caused by skeeters.
Yeah.
We probably should have warned her first.
So
she
is
could look it
malaria,
up.
but yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's heard of that. It's something kind of old disease. And
They used to get a lot-
And mosquitoes carry it.
In jungles like Vietnam, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to get malaria shots.
Yeah.
You used to have to get malaria shots too, and other
Mhm.
shots to go to a lot of countries.
Yes.
Military always did, but
Yeah.
a lot of other people did too.
I know some missionaries even now had to go to Africa and they had to get a ton of shots,
Mm.
which is a whole nother reason why I wouldn't go because all the shots and the ick
I
and-
remember
yeah.
our congressman
like shots.
talking about that because once a year he'd go on a mission to one of
Mhm.
those countries and he'd talk about all the shots they have to get.
Mm-mm.
No,
God,
no, we're just phone it in.
makes my arm hurt just thinking about it.
That's just too much. I just think all that poison being put in your body.
And you guys in the Coast Guard ever go to Cape May way back when in basic? Did you? We had. You have to go through to get your shots, right?
Correct.
And there's a pneumatic gun they were using.
Mm-hmm.
They just stick it to your,
That's what I thought. I had, yeah.
and it just penetrates you.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was one of the shots that they called the water cooler shot. Everybody is
Mhm.
marching in a line
Yeah.
forever from way down yonder to way up here through the line. Okay, stand still. Psst, move. Psst, move. Psst. I'm like, okay. And by the time some of the people would get back around out of that, after they got the shot, they waited around. There's a little water cooler there, called it the water cooler shot, because about a small percentage, but a significant number would collapse. They fainted
Oh,
at
my
that point in
Lord.
time.
That would be my granddaughter.
We
She'll
called it the water
faint
cooler
at a
shot. It was funny.
I don't
I thought
think
it
the
was
shots.
funny.
I'm just thinking about what's in them.
Well, anyway. Hey, Azalea Festival is coming up. It's the 78th annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Wowee.
When's it, this weekend?
Nope.
Oh.
It's the following weekend, but it starts next week. And we're going to have some tickets to give away to a concert
Right.
that's coming up next Thursday.
Okay.
We're going to be giving away a few tickets here. So we'll let you know about that. It's a concert. It's going to be in Wilmington. And it's a guy named Justin Moore. You got somebody else in the concert with him, but it's a twofer. And it's apparently he's got a bunch of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that
it's a
song? That
country-
was USA.
Small Town USA.
Small Town USA.
That's
yes.
one of his biggies.
Yes, that's one of his first is.
Mm-hmm. What is fastest? Small Town USA. I mean, it's got some cool titles here. Why We Drink. The ones that didn't make it. Somebody Else Will. Till My Last Day. With the Woman You Love. And it was
That sounds depressing, but okay.
Beta Hook.
Bait a hook.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
got.
that's a fishing. That's
That's
your
a
thing
fishing
right
thing.
there.
Yeah,
Rufus.
bait a hook.
Country.
That'd be Rayford's
Not
theme
a
song.
problem. I like that. So, Justin, he's going to be in concert there. And like I said, we're going to be giving away a few tickets here over the next few days. And they're going to be sent to us and we'll send them to you. How's that? Or maybe have you pick them up or we'll just meet you somewhere. Or,
I'll deliver as
I'll
long
get
as
it-
it's within
I'll get a carrier
50
pigeon
miles.
and drop it.
Right.
Something. But anyway,
We could put it in the U.S. mail. They might get it.
I'm not saying
Go
anything
ahead,
because
Matt.
I've already blasted them enough, I think,
Yes,
for a
you
while.
have all last week, every day,
Justified. Every bit of it. Just totally justified.
every day.
Well, I have a story that I'm excited about. I think it's great. In Butner, you know how vapes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, store owner,
Oh, Granville County.
Yeah,
yeah, multiple felonies.
we were talking about that.
He was
with
selling. He was caught selling THC vapes to middle schoolers.
It's
Middle
ridiculous.
schoolers, and the
Well, at least they had to walk a half mile to get from the
they
school.
had
there.
to walk across the street.
Is that
Yeah,
all
I
it
It
think
was
was?
located across the street from the
Yeah.
middle from Butler STEM Middle School.
Uh-oh.
And the elementary school was close by, wasn't it?
Yeah, not too far. So this one, he is 36, and don't even ask me to pronounce this man's name because I can't do it.
We already
That's a lot of
tried.
letters.
Southeast Asia or Middle East?
I would say Middle East.
Okay,
if I had to
Middle
guess
East.
based
The
on
only one I
name.
could guess on was Muhammad. So just
yeah,
call
I
him
got that one. But he was
That doesn't
charged
narrow it
with
down a whole lot.
felonies. Possession with intent to deliver, sell marijuana, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, deliver, Schedule 1, manufacturing, sell, deliver, possessing controlled substances within 1,000 feet of a school, possession of marijuana paraphernalia, possession of drug paraphernalia, maintaining a vehicle, dwelling place for controlled substances.
Okay, you got my attention when you said manufacture, because that
Mhm.
means what they did. He took the stuff that's supposed to be legal coming
Mhm.
in, and he mixed something with it. That's what that means.
What he did
That carries
was
a significant penalty.
an ALE is who was involved
Yay.
in this, along with
I like them
regular law
guys.
enforcement. Because he sold some stuff that had the Delta 9 THC products and has more than 0.3% THC. It's illegal in the state of North Carolina. And that's because parents, a lot of these kids vaping, they're vaping, not vaping, or even the Delta 9. Some of this stuff has other things in it. Kids have ended up in the hospital.
Mhm.
This stuff is dangerous. And
You know, I know parents, parents of newborns and parents of infants and stuff like that. They get real excited about not giving their kids peanuts or peanut oil
Right.
to begin with until they know whether they're allergic to it or not.
Yeah.
But you're letting your kids go to middle school up here and go over to the store and buy something that is, they say, but steam, mama,
It's
is
not.
nothing but steam.
Well, I
I
want to
mean,
know,
it's just steam.
are they leaving during school time and going over it and then going back to school?
I bet they're doing, if I had to guess, and just what I've seen from, some of the enforcement stuff we do, a lot of them are doing it after school in the evenings. And most of the time, what we found is 9 times
Drop
out of
me
10,
off
these
early,
parents
Mama.
don't have a clue.
Drop me
Right,
off early.
right,
make
sure.
If it's just across the street, drop me off early. I mean, I'll, not a problem, mama.
If I had a middle school kid in this day and age, I'd search that kid's backpack twice a day. I seriously would, because
Bring the dogs on.
I would search their cell phones, because some of these kids are running little criminal enterprises. Even here
Sure.
in Ozark County, out of the bathroom, selling vapes and making money.
Oh, yeah.
One parent kept seeing transactions on the kid's debit card, $50, $60. They couldn't figure out what it was.
Lord.
Kids buying vapes.
I'd be cutting
On his
that
debit card?
Yeah. Some kids have debit cards.
Yeah.
They do. And parent got suspicious, always charging. Well, I get, or if you see a kid that's constantly Venmoing or Cash Apping somebody, because you just put the amount, like if I'm going to Cash App you $25, I don't have to put what it's for. But a parent got suspicious and their kid was buying vapes here. Yeah. From a kid in the bathroom at school.
We're going to do something we haven't done, are you?
Well,
We're going to take a break.
a break. We have a break? Sweet.
We're going to have 4 of them a day for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're live and local, real talk. Don't y'all go too far from your computers because we will be right back if I can find the right button.
The 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival is proud to present Justin Moore.
Here's to the ones who didn't make it back home. You look like I need a drink.
Thursday, April 3rd at Live Oak Bank Pavilion in Wilmington with Cameron Marlowe,
Cause I'm getting you.
Justin Moore.
Somebody else will.
Thursday, April 3rd in Wilmington. Tickets on sale now at ncazaleafestival.org. Also performing at this year's North Carolina Azalea Festival, Flo Rida, the 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Thanks in part to New Hanover Printing and Publishing. For all your sign and printing needs, contact New Hanover Printing and Publishing at newhanoverprinting.com. By the stunning Hotel Palace Tapestry Collection by Hilton in historic downtown. Proud hotel of the North Carolina Azalea Festival. And Wicked Week Brewing. Enjoy Twist, our Belgian white ale or fresh pernicious IPA.
Justin Moore. Tickets on sale now at ncazaleafestival.org.
Yeah, I got those tickets down. That's going to be next week, so you need to go ahead and get your tickets. Or you can stand by here because we're going to be giving away a couple. Probably not today, but we're going to have a couple of 4-packs of tickets to give away, or might break a couple, one of them down into two packs.
Yeah,
we'll see.
that'd be nice,
So if you got a
yes.
family, just hang in there. If you really have a burning desire, let me know. Justin Moore apparently is a pretty good player. Been in the business for about 10, 15 years, and he's got a bunch of good hits on the country charts out there. Offshore today, winds out of the northwest, 15 to 20 knots, some gust up to 25 this morning, seas 2 to 4 feet, sounds and rivers are choppy. Tomorrow, northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming southwesterly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Tomorrow, winds from the southwest. The fishing is going to be best. Seas around 2 feet, and that's really nice. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon. Take advantage of it tomorrow, calls. Friday, southwesterly winds kicking up just a little bit, 10 to 15, 15 to 20 in the afternoon. If you're going to go Friday, go early. Seas 2 to 3 feet, sounds and rivers of moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon, and we're going to get pollinated, right?
We're already pollinated.
We're gonna get.
Well, today it'll be sunny with a high of 68. It's a little chillier. Northwest winds 5 to 14 miles an hour. Gusts as high as 22. Now, remember, folks, we got a burn ban in place.
That's right.
Yes.
Tonight,
It's illegal.
Yes, mostly cloudy tonight. As daybreak appears, it will actually be clear. The low will be 43. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 70. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, a low of 46. And on Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 78. But we're back to being gusty on Friday.
Yeah.
We
Once
just
again,
need
no burning.
a couple days of rain.
We need some of those nice April showers. That's going to help with the May flowers, too.
Yes.
It's going to help with the gardens as well. So,
Right.
Okay.
It's just
A man appointed to a big old position as the National Security Advisor has said it's his fault for an inadvertent leak of secret battle plans for a sneak attack. What was going to be a sneak attack on the Houthis in Yemen. Michael Waltz is obviously in the wrong position. Perhaps he should be transferred to a newly created position as National Blabbermouth. But he promised to get to the bottom of it. Though he's falling on his sword, the security advisor may not be the actual person that screwed up. That's what he says. Here's what went down, as best the media knows right now. Jeffrey Goldberg, the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, I don't know whether you guys have ever read any of the Atlantic magazines, penned a first-person account of getting a connection request from what appeared to be Trump's national security advisor, Waltz. That happened on March 11th. This came via on Signal. What the Sam Hill is that? Is that a new?
It's a texting app and it's
Jesus
encrypted.
Christ. Oh, yeah, right. So this guy, an editor-in-chief of a magazine, gets it, right? Sure. This encrypted messaging service is used by journalists and government officials.
Mm-hmm.
He accepted and was then added to a chat group called Hootie PC Small Group. Okay. Was he suspicious? He then proceeded to
I'd be.
see a series of top Trump officials discussing what turned out to be an upcoming attack on the Houthis and what critics are calling a massive breach of national security. No kidding. He's NSA secretary. Several Trump officials reportedly involved in that chat, including Waltz, Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. Secretary Waltz, trying to waltz around this whole breach, said that the editor of the often criticized Atlantic has a horrible reputation inside the NSA. So now the guy who says the buck stops with him is blaming the Atlantic editor because someone included the man with a horrible reputation on a private communications chain about our plans to kill terrorists?
But
Is that the bottom line?
But how did this guy? You have to put either a name or a number when you're sending
I
a
will
group
tell
text.
you that this morning, the latest word is it was a staffer for Tim Waltz that put the people together on the chat. Do I believe that?
Well,
Anyway,
There are not that many people on the chat. You would.
they
vote, would you
went to
not?
go
I
add.
would think you see him.
They went to go add this one person whose name James something or other, and they came across JG, thinking it was this guy, and added him when in reality it was the guy from
Rule
Atlanta.
one, in positions like this, hire
Don't
somebody.
text.
Hire somebody who can think, not that they thought.
Not
it
only
was.
that-
Text 'em.
Why the heck are you texting?
Yeah.
Is my next question.
I would say we'll all be meeting at the White House at 2:00
Yes.
this afternoon to discuss this.
Maybe
If you can't be there, then we'll fill you in later.
we'll meet you at the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Do
Really.
something like.
Starbucks.
Why would this be in a
Mhm.
group text? That
Of
makes
course,
no sense.
All of us, well, maybe just one of us, me, would like to know who actually added the guy with the horrible reputation to the secret list. I cannot read that again. The guy with the horrible reputation was added to the
Because
list at the NSA.
Right.
But be clear about something. Somebody would have had to have the guy's phone number to add the text.
I don't know whether it's via phone or how it goes.
They
I
said
don't
it was a
know.
text. They
I
acted
know
like- when I hear text,
that-
I'm thinking phone.
Yeah.
I had Signal at one time. I deleted it. I don't ever
Was it on
use
your phone?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
And see, I can go ahead and take my phone list and
Why did you get on that
incorporate-
list for us?
I don't even know what Signal is. I didn't know what it was
I
till
didn't either.
yesterday.
It's encrypted and it's supposed to be safe and can't be
Well,
hacked.
clearly,
Can't,
that's a
they
lie.
say.
Well, they didn't have to
it's
hack
not
it.
safe.
They just send it to it.
No, they should have just wrote down everything and printed out a
Why
copy
don't
of
they
the
put it on
text and send it
page-
to the news.
Put it on page 1 of the New York
Correct.
Times. It'd
I
be
mean,
good. On a
It was dumb, in my opinion. Dumb.
with whatever punishment whoever did this should get. We or me want someone to ridicule every chance we get,
Mhm.
because this individual needs to be ridiculed, whoever it is. It's nice of Waltz to accept the blame, but I got to go back a few decades to the time that President Harry S. Truman said, "The buck stops here, y'all."
Exactly.
His meaning, of course, was that it mattered not who screwed up in his administration. The president was ultimately responsible. And in this case, the president said, "That's a crappy newspaper anyway."
Well, I'm not
was his
surprised he said
biggest
that.
defense that he
Yeah.
had going for him.
I'm not
Dude,
surprised.
could you
I'm
imagine?
not putting him down. I'm just telling you what the facts are.
Raver, could you imagine being added to a list like that and you're a news reporter? You know you'd be taking screenshots and everything.
Do you know that I'd be not saying anything about it for the
Exactly.
longest time and just saving all this stuff up for one day?
I'd be
I
taking
would never
screenshots.
release it. I would never release this information.
Right.
Because I don't care what position I am. I'm an American first,
Right.
U.S. citizen, American, and if we're going to attack those terrorists, go for it. Need some
But the
help? I got some extra bullets.
opportunity that fell into that reporter's lap is unreal.
Well, it says a lot about the reporter.
Yes.
Yeah, I know,
too.
and I
It
agree.
says a lot about them.
I agree with Trump. He is a crappy. That organization is a crappy operation, but
Well,
He didn't
I'm
use
just
crappy.
reading all the text and information that was a lot of it that he put out there. And I will say that, I don't see anything that's highly classified. But then again, I'm not in a position to say what is highly classified.
I read that as well. The only thing I could come up with is the fact they said we're about to bomb these Houthi rebels.
Right.
Yeah.
How classified is that? I mean, you don't think they don't already know? Didn't we bomb them like a week or two ago anyway?
well, this
Like,
thing was
yes.
or
March
is it
11th.
from then? Okay,
This is
gotcha.
March
So it is
11th.
so we did bomb them.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
move on.
We got 40 of them. How many could we have gotten?
I would just say it was a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even be texting.
No,
sensitive
that's my
material.
point. Never.
Should not be.
Just like you shouldn't be emailing it. But, here we are.
Well, speaking of Harry S. Truman, the Houthis have claimed that they attacked the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier and a bunch of other U.S. warships in the Red Sea. These militants in Yemen, that's why we went after them, are claiming responsibility for the latest attack against U.S. warships. It didn't matter that we went after them. They're still doing it. We didn't do it good enough. Why did we stop?
I agree.
When there's still life, if somebody is still breathing and you intend to kill them, you're supposed to go back and give them another shot.
Well, what are they attacking a warship with? I mean, every video I've ever seen, they're in these little tiny speedboat things or whatever.
Look what they did to what was the USS Cole.
Yeah, sure. They put a bomb.
40-foot
Yeah.
hole
They
in the
did.
side of
I
it.
remember that. Yep. True. Good point. Good point.
An outboard motorboat,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. How did they even allow them to get close enough
They
to
don't
that?
anymore.
Okay. I didn't think so.
So that was,
I
that
remember
was
the
the end of
USS
that.
Cole incident.
And they kept telling them to go away, go away, go away. They're out there, hey, we just want to see you. I will tell you right now, offshore here, we have naval warships playing games out there all the time. Right?
Yeah, we
They're
do.
training.
Correct.
But you call them whatever you want. They're
Yeah.
training.
Mhm.
And you will hear every time they're out there. You might not be able to see them from shore, but you can hear them on the VHF radio, channel 16. This is the warship, and they give you a fake name, a number.
Yeah.
This is a naval warship 00146 or whatever. And then they will say, we're conducting live fire exercise. That's one of the premises that they use. You need to stay at least 1 mile from our location.
Yeah. I'd stay farther,
But
but
they don't tell you where they're located.
No.
But if you can see them, you better stay away from them. That's the bottom line. If you're out there and they see a small boat coming, you can rest assured you will be in someone's sights before you get real close.
And then these messages, this texting, JD Van said at Pete Hedgeseth, if you think we should do it, let's go. I just hate billing Europe out again. Let's just make sure our messaging is tight here.
Whoops. We got two military guys exchanging messages over over an encrypted message delivering system
This is,
with a reporter on the one as being one of the recipients. No.
and if there are things we can do upfront to minimize risk to Saudi oil facilities, we should do it. And Pete says, I fully share your loathing of
I like that. Share your loathing.
European freeloading is pathetic.
I would like
Gosh.
somebody to share my loathing sometimes. That would be
I'll
fun.
tell you
wouldn't it?
what.
Do I have any loather shares out there?
Good morning, Dr. Rose.
How are you? Help.
I'm doing well, except for some phone trouble. It wouldn't bring up your name.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Well, you got us.
Yep.
Yeah, I did, thankfully.
Well, we're happy with that one. Thank you. Dr. Rosemary Stein, a little further north of us, up there near not too far from the Virginia border. Do you get any diseases from Virginia? You managed to cross the border?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Not that I've been able to figure out. We're sort of in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
So, there are not too many the population isn't very big, and it's not a lot of a population like from DC or anything like that
Sure.
would bring some unusual illnesses.
Yeah. We talked about a disease. Was it Monday? I forgot. One day recently about a disease that we as travelers are being warned, and women especially who wear very little clothing at certain times of the year, like now
What are
on
you
the
trying
beach,
to
on the
say?
beaches. Y'all get naked, mostly naked. Okay.
Okay.
And you go
All
to
right.
the beaches, and then they're being warned. We're all being warned. Don't bare so much skin, and wear some cover-ups, and put some mosquito repellent on, because there's something called dengue that apparently is making a comeback. I had never heard of dengue. Have you heard of dengue?
Yes, it's an illness mostly in tropical countries.
Uh-huh.
I hadn't heard that dengue fever was making a comeback in the United States. It's certainly not in the mid-Atlantic to the south. I could see where maybe because it is carried by mosquitoes. It has to be a certain mosquito. I forgot which one it is.
Oh, really?
But it's mostly very warm weather that stays warm. So it's not really something that would occur ongoing. There must have been somebody that traveled, and then that those mosquitoes then have to go and prick somebody's skin and then go on to another person. So
Yeah.
it's unusual to get it.
You're going to love this. They mentioned the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
That's true. So dengue fever is something that does happen in tropical countries. The Dominican Republic is one of them. If you pull up your history books, you'll see that I can't remember how many thousands of soldiers died in Panama because of dengue fever. So going untreated, you can get really sick. You can get dehydrated. They also call dengue fever is also called breakbone fever, because the pain in your body feels like your bones are breaking. Sometimes you do need hospitalization, lots of fluids. It's not yet. It's a serious illness, but I've not seen myself with my eyes. Not that I haven't heard of, but I haven't seen a child with dengue fever in the United States.
Well, we hope not. And precautions are in order. And, mosquitoes are pesky anyway, but some of the precautions that we as homeowners can take, make sure we empty all the little water buckets that hang around. You get a little rain shower or whatever. It doesn't take but a quarter of an inch of rain or less for mosquito eggs to hatch and to come on out there and spread around and go. And well, first of all, they're pesky, and they're just absolutely obnoxious little critters. And I don't know how you tell the good mosquitoes from the bad mosquitoes. So if I see it, I kill it.
I didn't know there were any good mosquitoes. I thought they were all bad.
To me, they are.
we
But
go.
some people say some mosquitoes don't actually bite you or.
They
Sting
all
you.
bite. They all do. Hate them.
Why take the chance? And I don't know how you would. How do you identify a male from a female when they land on your arm? Mm-hmm.
I think they're all bad. They're all the type of bite, so I don't want any of them around. And I think that your advice to not leave any standing water is an excellent one.
Okay, now for
Because you don't know where that mosquito has been. The mosquito is sort of a little like a fly.
Yep.
You don't know where it's been. It could have been on a cow. It could have been on a dog. It could have been anywhere.
Yeah, got me
And there
itching.
it is on you.
Yeah. Now, what about for individuals? Now, it's that time of season. People are going to be going to the beaches and all that sort of good stuff. And other than sunburns, which we all should be taking care of ourselves with because of the cancerous possibilities and the pain as well, but also the bugs. I mean, this time of year, you're working in the yard, you got sand gnats, sand fleas, flying teeth, whatever you want to call them. And then you got mosquitoes. Those things, they can be hazardous to your health as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you can get bitten by infections. Some of them have some sort of, they could have some illnesses that they pass on. So you got to take care of yourself and make sure that you go through your backyard before your kid gets there. Look at the if there are any ant
Oh
mounds,
God,
anthills
They're there.
that you need to remove,
yes.
because that's pretty bad. Kids can get pretty bitten up and pretty sick from ants.
and I can walk through the yard and these little these big old anthills. I just got to walk by. And I think they're flying ants because they jump. I really think that they jump.
They're not fleas, Rayford.
But these things, they end up getting on me just by being nearby or whatever. And when they bite you, if it's the fire ants, you feel it right away.
I hate a fire ant.
But not all of them are fire ants, but they can cause some problems in my skin anyway.
Yeah, they can bite. They will bite you, and they'll leave it. Even if they're not fire ants, they'll leave some nasty marks.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's nice. It's good for us to teach children how to identify it, how to try to stay away from them. Same thing for like wasps and bees. You just have to have respect for the insect world, because they can make you pretty sick. Don't be so fearful you don't go out. But on the other hand, these are the things you stay away from. And if you see that, make sure you show me where it is so that I can do my best to get rid of it.
Yeah, some kids like to go out and pester bees and wasp nests and stuff like that just to see what happens. Then they run, but sometimes they don't get away. Those can be very dangerous. But then we've got this other little critter, and Leah's over here scratching as hard as you can.
Because I know what you're saying there. We already said something about it.
These other little critters out there, the 4-letter word called tick.
They tick me off too, man.
And they those things can be
I told you.
on kids. I mean, we generally know that we will pick around, we'll look, and if we find something, we'll wash it off or pull it out or with it. But then the little kids sometimes, I remember as a little kid, I got one in the back of my head, on the neck area. I didn't know what it was. My mother found it when she was washing my hair. Those things can be really dangerous.
Give kids a good look over, and kids get into the grass and into the bushes, and so that's how they get these on them. Most ticks do not have illnesses, but if you don't take it off, it can be dangerous and lead to infections of the skin anyway.
Yeah.
You got Lyme disease that's
right.
mostly in the north, but you can get them. You can get Lyme disease in the south. And then you have other, like we call them rickettsial illnesses, which are some types of germs that cause like bad headaches and
really?
fever, and you feel terrible. So you got to look over your kids and make sure that if they're outside and they're playing in the grass and the bushes, that they look properly at themselves if they're a little older. But if they're young, when you go over and you give them a bath, you look, especially in the skin folds. That's where they like to hide.
Right.
Stop.
Lee's going crazy over here, so trying to scratch.
I told you I was out trying to cut some tree branches down the other day, and I didn't do many because I have to put a new chain on my saw, but I was just like going, I need a hat. I need some spray.
Hazmat suit.
A hazmat suit, because I know I'm full of ticks now.
Yeah. Well, people, kids really do need to pay attention to it. And parents, they don't know any better. So you got to teach them. You're going to have to teach them.
That's right.
So, Dr. Rose, thank you. Didn't know we were going to come up with such a timely subject today, but did gay fever to ticks. We got it all covered.
I never know where the conversation's going to go, but
we don't either.
I'm delighted to share what I know.
I was going to say, if you think we know in advance,
We don't
forget
either.
about that. We don't know. All right. Thank you, Doc.
Thanks, Dr. Rose.
You guys have a great week.
You
See you
too.
next week. All right. Okay. My goodness gracious. You're native from this area.
Yes.
And did you ever come down to Wilmington area as a kid? Did they ever bring you to the Azalea Festival?
Yes.
I know Lee did.
Yes.
Everybody from Jacksonville went.
Right.
I went like maybe once.
Oh, was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe it's like almost 3 in my house
Yeah, well,
back then. Yeah.
yeah, well, you know, they had people coming from
Mhm.
all over North Carolina
Mhm.
and other places, and a lot of people made that trip every year.
Yeah.
And it was always fun to be able to chat with them when I was living there. After 76, I moved there in 76. And it was a lot of fun just to talk to some of the people that have been coming year after from New York,
Mhm.
Pennsylvania, Ohio. Ohio was a big state. They came from those places. They Azalea Festival used to advertise all over the country, or in the eastern part of the
Used to
country,
be big thing.
and it was pretty cool. You could, and you know, one of the biggest attractions for the Azalea Festival,
The azaleas.
the queens,
The queens.
Oh, yeah.
who
Yeah.
were quite often. A lot of us kind of made fun of it, but do you know how many people are hooked on soap operas,
Yeah, I know.
especially
Oh
in those
yes,
days?
and always a soap
And
opera
they,
queen.
if you had a soap opera queen,
Susan Lucci.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
had people like that, Kelly Kirby, what was her
No,
name?
Kelly.
Ripa.
Kelly
Kelly
Ripa.
Ripa.
Mhm.
She was one of my favorites.
Mhm.
She was on a
She-
soap
All
opera
My
at the time.
Children.
She was in Wilmington during the festival, and she got the notice that she had won the big soap opera award of the year
Oh wow.
while she was in Wilmington that year. Then, of course, she's gone on to do talk show and
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
kind of cool
she's
stuff.
got her own talk show with
And,
her husband.
Mhm.
In fact, I posted a picture of her 4 or 5 years ago that I shot. I did all the photo work for the Azalea
Mhm.
Festival for 25, 28 years, something like that. And I shot all the queens,
Mhm.
the portraits every year. And stop it.
You stop, Lee. Don't. I'm not even
It's
looking
the way
at you.
he said it.
And
Mhm.
I did an official portrait of it. And I saw a posting that she had, or some blog or something up there. So I posted a picture of her on it, and she said,
Nice.
"Oh my God, that takes me way back. I remember you."
Aw.
Aw.
So it was,
That's nice.
but
Mhm.
some of them were a lot of fun. Most of them were a lot of fun. There was
Who
this
did you
one
say?
queen that I'm not going to mention her name because I can't remember it. I wouldn't if I did remember it, but
Mhm.
she was not that this has anything to do with it, but she was extremely blonde.
Okay.
Okay.
She's gonna fit
She-
that stereotype, isn't she?
Oh no, she invented it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
She played the ditziest of blondes on this not for primetime TV show, right?
Mhm.
Joy.
She was one of those.
Yeah.
She was not acting. She should not have been paid to be an actress on
Was
that
it
show.
Was it
Suzanne Summers?
Who?
Suzanne
Sum-
Summers?
Oh, heavens
Kelly and I
no.
thought the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I thought when he said, "Did she
She-
blind on
yeah.
prime time?" Okay.
But she sneaked her little toy poodle in her bag coming on the airplane from
Aw.
California.
Aw.
And she carried that everywhere she went
Mhm.
in her
Aw.
purse.
I'd like to have a dog with a purse.
Yes.
Just saying.
Anyway,
little dog I
she
could.
most of us gathered, and she was not acting on that show. She was really, honest to goodness,
Just
the ditziest of ditzy that I've ever seen.
nice.
Well,
I mean, she took the cake.
that leaves
So
it wide
I
open.
think it's Joy.
Yes, Joy.
Well, did you say Joy was ditzy? Is
No,
that what you said?
it's not what I
Oh,
said. I
we
told her
said-
on the phone. Joy knows how I
We
feel
said,
about her.
"Oh, joy!
knows I
It's
love her.
joy, joy to the world."
See, I need a help. I need.
Joy's my girl. What's up? What's up, Joy?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Speaking, I'm hanging in there, like a
I got
hair
you.
to biscuit.
Yeah, I got you.
Information nostalgia for me. My children's grandmother was the first Azalea Festival princess.
Oh, I know her. Give me the name.
Marguerite,
Yes, yes.
same name as your mama.
Yeah, well, she spelled it with a T. My mom did not have the T in it. Mine was Marguerite,
Right.
and she was Marguerite, and she was she lived in Swansboro the last time I heard
Yes.
about it. Married to
Horns,
that's it.
yes.
And yeah, she was the first, but that was not in 1948. They didn't have it in 1948.
49.
She was the first Azalea Festival was in
No.
48. She was the
Yes.
first, and I actually photographed her on a when they had a whole bunch of the Azalea past Azalea princesses in Wilmington at one time.
Oh, did you really?
I did a bunch of photos that year.
When she passed away, I had shared on my Facebook page a picture of the article. She was, I think, a senior in high school.
That's usually what they were, juniors or seniors.
Yes, sir. And so when I heard y'all saying that, I thought, well, I'm just going to share a little bit of bragging rights for my grandchildren, and it brought back great memories. She was a beautiful woman.
Did she have a daughter named Bunny?
That was WA. Yes, that's correct. And then she had my children's father and another son.
Okay.
And then Bunny, of course, took care of her latter years of her life. After my children's father passed away at a very early age, she went downhill because he was sort of like her. Well, for some people, if you're losing a child at an early age. But Bunny took care of her for the remainder of her life. But she was a very beautiful, and she worked at the admissions office at the hospital for several years. And the thing that was really neat about her, one thing in her life was when they first got the first, I think, MRI machine, they needed someone to, test it out. I think it was the MRI. Of course, this was years ago now. So she decided that she'd go in there and check it out.
Very cool.
They found out she had kidney cancer.
Oh, really?
Yes, which was really a miracle in itself for her to volunteer to be the first one to go in there. But she got fined from that.
Oh, good.
But I was just going to pass out a little bit of information, and I haven't spoken with y'all in a while.
I'm sure you went to Azalea Festival once or twice in your life, right?
Yes, they were very nice, but I stopped going. It seemed like everything changes. I don't like the changes that we go through sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the horse and buggy is kind of gone these days. You got to take a car to get from here to there. Would you believe that? Did you know that they actually had a train one time when the trains were running? That the train started in Whiteville, and I think it ran from Newbern through Jacksonville and then to Wilmington just for the Azalea Festival. Carried people by train.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I knew we had the train, but I didn't know they carried people from here to there.
I'm reasonably sure it came from through Columbus County, Whiteville area. Anyway, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I was at the first festival. I was at the first Azalea Parade.
You were?
I was the very first, 1948.
How about that?
I wasn't born yet, but my mom was there, and I was born a few days later. I kid you not.
In April, is your birthday April? Then?
Yes, ma'am, it is every year.
Well, how about that? Well, it was good to go back in time. Sometimes it makes us think of the good old days.
Yeah. So, anyway,
I guess Peter's there now, so I guess we shall end this conversation. And Kelly, I need to make contact with your office, I guess.
Okay, I know why. Yes.
Okay.
I'm messaging you right now.
Do I, honey?
I'm messaging you right now.
Oh, okay.
So
all right, guys.
Stand by.
It's coming. A little nostalgia for me, and y'all have a great day, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's take a break here live in Local Real Talk. We're Mr. Right when we come back.
Festival is proud to present Justin Moore.
Here's to the ones who didn't make it back home. You look like I need a drink.
Thursday, April 3rd at Live Oak Bank Pavilion in Wilmington with Cameron Marlowe.
'Cause I'm getting confused.
Justin Moore.
Somebody else will.
Thursday, April 3rd in Wilmington. Tickets on sale now at ncazaleafestival.org. Also performing at this year's North Carolina Azalea Festival, Flo Rida, the 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Thanks in part to the DFS Agency. Advertising reimagined, blooming with creativity. The official advertising agency of the North Carolina Azalea Festival. The DFSagency.com. By Blade & Bow Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Solera Aged Bourbon. Preserving the legacy of Louisville's legendary Stitzel-Weller Distillery. And by Novon Health. Committed to creating a healthier future in all the communities it serves. To find a doctor or learn more, visit novonhealth.org.
ncazaleafestival.org.
It's going to be a fun time, and I'm going to go down there for a little bit of that this year. I haven't been in a while, but we're going to take in a couple of the sites there. There's a lot of things that happen there too, including a garden tour. You pay a few bucks to go and take this tour, and you can go to every one of the gardens that's on the garden tour, and there are some people that work on their gardens like you
Yeah,
would
they
not
do.
believe year round. I mean, it's a city of 1 million azaleas.
Mhm.
Think about it. It's amazing.
Something I wanted to say too. I hope the azaleas start blooming soon. None of mine have.
Well,
You don't
we're
gotta-
a week later here than they are in Wilmington. Believe it or not. And
week-
it'll be here.
We're a week later than Wilmington.
Yeah.
I've never
Was-
heard
yeah.
of such a thing.
Really,
Azaleas
weather-wise,
blooming?
yeah, because they get, they're right on the water. And the temperature is going to be warmer earlier. It does not get as cold at nighttime this time of year.
Rayford, don't be.
I'm not kidding you. Y'all, I'm the one that traveled all those years back and forth. And I can leave Wilmington.
I have a
everything's
friend in
bloom.
Wilmington. I'm going to text her tonight, ask her if
You
the azaleas are blooming.
Ask her if they're
They will
blooming.
probably
Yeah.
pop this weekend.
Okay.
That's usually,
All right.
usually the way it works. In the house, in the residence.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Wright, for all of you ladies out there, Mr. Wright here, Peter Wright, talking about, we're getting close, aren't we?
Close.
Getting close to the end.
We're
aren't
getting
we?
close. Yep.
My goodness gracious. This weekend, Monday,
Monday.
the last day.
Yep.
Okay, last day for what?
Well, during the first 3 months of the year, there's actually an open enrollment period where people are able to make one change if they need to because of a drug being incorrect, not being on their formulary, or doctor not being in their plan, or maybe they just don't like their plan. They can make a change.
Okay, they don't have to have a real good excuse, like a specific thing. If they just don't like it, they're not feeling good about it, they can make a
Yeah,
change.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
So really, if you needed to make a change.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, if for some reason you made a change earlier on, or you didn't make a change and you were keeping what you had, and somebody contacted your number and you sleepily said, yeah, sure. And then suddenly you get signed up for it. It's not quite that easy, but it might slip through. You can make a change back.
Well, it depends when you made the change. If you made the change during annual enrollment period, then you've got that one change you can make during open enrollment period. If you've done it, if somebody has phoned you during open enrollment period, which happens quite a lot, as you know, and people make a change, then that's code OEP is what is what it's labeled as, is no longer available for me to change you. So in that case, what I then do is tell the person to contact CMS, Medicare themselves,
Okay.
and just tell them that they've been incorrectly put into a plan that they do not like. They've been told the benefits were incorrect, and I find that happens all the time. I get people that are put into a plan. They're told that the drugs are cheaper in the other plan than the one they were in, and they're not. And then they want to change back again. All the benefits are better, and they're not. And then CMS will change you back.
I'm the guy who's suspicious of high tides or low tides, even though they come once a day or twice a day each. I'm still suspicious of everything. But I get phone calls and they say, Mr. Brown, I'm from your Medicare provider. No, I'm from your Medicare. I'm from your Medicare.
Yeah,
And then they want to sell you something.
If it sounds like they're working for Medicare, then that's not legal. Yeah,
It sounds like they're working for Medicare. Those that call, that I get calls from.
Does
Does Medicare call you? Does Medicare itself make any phone calls to people to ask you to sign
that
up?
I'm aware of.
No.
It has to go through an agent, right?
Well, to sign up they won't call you about signing up for a plan. They have called my wife to set up an appointment for her to come in
Different
to see.
story.
Yeah.
Different story.
But you would just ask, does Medicare call you? They'll call you to set up an interview with you, because they've done that with my wife when she was about to get Medicare.
Okay.
Or they've phoned her because she, phoned them first, and I then phoned her back with information and so on. Yeah. But they won't phone you out of the blue trying to change your Medicare card. No, they will not.
Good. But so I could just say, up yours and hang up.
Yes, because you're not. I mean, you don't know who that agent. Firstly, it's illegal for an agent to call you about Medicare Advantage plans. unless they've got your prior permission, and it's got to be written down or recorded. Yeah, that you've given that permission.
I want to make a suggestion. This comes from an old scam that was going around earlier. I don't know whether it's being used now or not. Good morning. Are you so-and-so? And do not say yes. Do not ever use the word yes in anything that you tell these people. Nothing. I can edit out yes and put it on the response to any question that I pose on a recorder afterwards. And I will make it sound like you just agreed to sign up for Medicare, or in other cases for other things that they were scamming at the time. I hope most of that has stopped. But it's always a possibility.
It hasn't stopped. You are exactly right. I've got an 86-year-old lady that I help in supply, and she was telling me that she got a phone call from somebody wanting to change a plan, and all they wanted her to do was to say yes. They said, "Look, I just need you to say yes. Just say yes." She said she refused to say yes.
Do you understand what I said? Just say yes. Do you understand what I said? Do you just say yes? Joe, do you understand what I said? Just say yes. Oh, you don't know how far I go at that point in time. We can't put it on here.
Yeah.
I explain things to them, usually about their heritage.
Yeah.
And the number of parents that they actually have. So I'm not a nice person, what they call, because I know what they are. And I don't. I do not know why we have 535 elected legislators, federally elected legislators in this country, that are more concerned about little stuff that means nothing to the majority of the people out there, when we've got scammers impacting both from abroad and from within this country. And even though they look like they got a telephone number from Swansburg that starts out with 910-325 something, they call me several different scammers that call me from the same number about different things. So why can't we legislate them out of business?
Yeah.
Nobody can answer it.
Yeah. I don't know how you legislate someone out of business, but but it's a difficult thing. I don't know how we stop it.
I don't know either. It's up to us, though, people. Just say no, and hang up. Or laugh in their faces and hang up. It's a good one to do, too.
Or like the 86-year-old lady I was just talking about, she just does not answer any phone that comes through unless she recognizes the number nowadays, because she was changing 2 or 3 times a year at one stage. But when you were able to change, she has a Medicare, Medicaid, dual complete plan, and she was being chopped and changed each time, and eventually she realized no, she cannot answer the phone.
Okay, now let's go to Medicare and Medicaid together. You kind of deal with both of them under certain conditions, right?
Yeah.
Is the Medicare and or Medicaid programs being gutted? Are people going to lose their Medicaid or Medicare benefits because of some stuff that's happening in Washington that you know of?
I do not know what's going to happen there. I just don't know.
So you don't have any advance notice that stuff is going to hit the fan, right?
No, I mean I've heard not about that, but about something else.
Social Security?
About the Inflation Reduction Act. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, because that would be a bummer for me, because I love getting my drugs for $2,000. Humira I take, because normally it was $16,600.
How can anybody afford $16,000 for a drug per year?
They can't. That's why they don't take it.
Yeah. Well, you could do it through the patient assistance programs and things like that, but
I mean,
I can't qualify for patient assistance.
Who's manufacturing it that it's worth $16,000? What's in this drug?
Well, I don't know what's in it, but what it does is it enables me to work, and I will keep taking it.
I mean, even if you put gold flakes in it, it wouldn't cost $16,000. That, things like that are just, that's why we're out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And unless some company can justify it, I know they've got research and development, but if I go to another country and buy the same drug like you do in some cases, over the counter for cheap, that I have to a prescription for in this country and pay a lot of money for it, that's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Problem with
Oh,
this
that's
is
right,
that
that's
the one I take has to be refrigerated, so
Sure.
it makes it harder to
Well,
get
that's like
anywhere.
insulin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insulin has to be refrigerated too.
Uh-huh.
Oh my. Anyway, okay. What do we got new that people need to know? That you need to remind them of? Obviously, Monday is D-Day.
Yeah. So basically what I was thinking, what were the most common problems that I'm seeing? And, one of those is people are still paying a lot for supplement plans. I'm being asked about that all the time, because supplement plans. So when you get Medicare, you can get either a supplement plan with a separate drug plan, or you can have an advantage plan, which often has a drug plan combined. And if you've chosen a supplement plan with a separate drug plan, those supplement plans, they can start at $80, $100 a month, but unfortunately they go up each year and fairly quickly. And so when you're in your mid-70s or so, I often find people that are paying $250 or more for their supplement plan. And at the same time, drug plans, they start at around $15 to $25, and they can go as high as $125, $150, depending on the number of drugs you're taking and what works out the best for you. So that standalone drug plan is no way near as rich as the ones that you get that are in an advantage plan.
So let me see if I can understand it. You can sign on for a supplement plan. Let's say you get Social Security. When you get Social Security, then you sign, and Medicare, then you sign on for a supplement plan. May cost you as little as $100, right?
Yeah.
But then as you get older, as you retire with no extra source of income coming in, you're going on a fixed income basically, and you get older, and that price can creep up as you get older.
That's right. As you get older, you're in a group of people because you've signed up for a plan, and generally you're in that group of people that signed up at the same age. So you're getting older, and the people that the company is insuring is also getting older and sicker and taking more drugs. And so in order to cover their costs, they increase the prices as you get as the group of people get older. And if you don't get an illness, then okay, you can check around every 3 or 4 years and change your supplement plan without doing medical, and still being able to pass the medical questions to change it. But if you get ill, like someone like me, you can't change your plan. Once you're in it, you can no longer make a change because the insurance companies won't accept a change, or they'll charge you a huge amount to change from one plan to another. So your cost keeps going up and up, and each year it increases.
So what you're telling me, and you should be telling Kelly especially, me is too late for her. I've got mine. I'm good. But for Kelly, she's not approached that. She's approaching, but she ain't near there yet. Okay, the age of. She needs to be paying attention.
Yeah,
and she needs to see you before she starts doing anything. Of course, I know Kelly already is seeing you because of other people involved in her family. So, but other folks out there, y'all need to start paying attention. You need to listen. It ain't just for old people. You need to plan for this in advance.
Now, there are some situations for supplement plans, depending on the county you're in, and also your maybe if you're having cancer, it might work out. more cheaply initially. But really, yeah, I mean, this year, I don't think I've actually helped somebody with a supplement plan. Last year, I probably did 2 or 3 of them. And I did about 250 Advantage plans instead. So, it's, it's not often that people are taking them now, but I am still coming across that when I'm writing people, but I'm still coming across people that are being sold supplement plans quite often.
Okay, so are there any counties in North Carolina along the coast, with water access that have cheaper plans for what I've got if I were to move there, for instance?
Cheaper plans for supplement plans or for Advantage plans?
For Advantage plans.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Because I got a boat with a head, which is a bathroom and a kitchen on it, and a beds. I can move it there, and that will be my primary home. This would be my vacation home if it was a cheaper county. Chris over there is laughing. No, but seriously, some people that, if there were other places they could go and get a better plan, they may consider retiring. I mean, if they're renting, moving to another location close by.
Yeah.
If you cross the county line, in some places you just got another place you live.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What else do we need to know besides you're going to be at work today and tomorrow? And that's the last time you're going to be at Walmart?
No, until October.
Well, yeah.
Not like the last time forever.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about right now.
Well, just on that thing about getting on that item about getting a supplement plan, just make sure you're speaking to an agent that is qualified to sell Advantage plans. That is one of the reasons, I think, because you got to do more exams to be able to sell Advantage plans. You don't have to with supplement
Not the
plans.
people you have to.
I have to write.
You have to be better qualified.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Another common problem I come across is people lose their Part B premium. They either don't arrange to pay it, or they just neglect a bill when it comes in. Because when you first turn 65, you may not be getting Social Security if you haven't elected to take it yet, and they get a bill and they just disregard it, stop paying. They don't pay the Part B, and it gets cancelled on them. And then you've got a merry dance because you can only get your Part B back again in January, February, or March the next year. You have to apply for it in January, and you'll get it on 1st of February, or apply for it in
okay, so if you
March,
continue working at age 65 and you elect not to take Social Security, as a growing number of people are doing, until you're 67 or I guess 70, you can do now.
Yeah.
67, 68, 60, whenever you decide to take it, then you are going to get Medicare. But if you elect not to do that, you're working for a big company and they got a great insurance plan. Why do you want to have to deal with Social Security?
Well, then you don't need Part B either.
You won't need either.
But if you do need Part B, then you need to make sure, and you don't have Social Security income coming in, because it will automatically be taken out of your Social Security income. If you don't have that coming in, then you need to arrange to pay it, from your bank account. Have it drafted from your bank account automatically. That's what we do for my wife, because she's not going to have have Social Security till she's 70, and so we're just drafting it. We've set it up so it automatically drafts from our bank account.
Okay. All right, at Walmart today and tomorrow, Wednesday today, tomorrow Thursday, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Right? Both days.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So the Walmart is on Marine Boulevard North, at the intersection of Western Boulevard, behind the Golden Corral, if you guys know where that is. So you stop by there and see Peter.
It's in the car park.
In the car park.
The car park.
Right.
The car park. Okay.
So that'll be the 26th and the 27th of March.
Okay.
27th will be my last day in Walmart until October this year, later this year.
And now, in between now and then, You're just going to take a vacation? You're going to do?
No, I am continuing to work 7 days a week. You can call me.
There we go.
The 252-675-4488 number, which I keep getting wrong in these notes. 252-675-4488.
I've given out your number so much now. I know it by heart.
Yeah. It's actually easy to learn that
It
one,
is.
isn't
Yes.
it?
So it's an easy number.
Problem is, so is the other one that I write down here. So.
Well, 252, just figured that that's
Yeah.
given. You're going to know
Yeah.
that one, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
joining here.
Don't make it complicated,
Yeah.
Rayford.
Then 675 is the only one you got to number because got to remember because 44 and 88, 44 is half of 88.
Yeah.
That's just an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
come
could
on.
choose a number, and I looked through hundreds of
The
numbers, and I
available-
thought that was a
Yeah, it's an easy one. It's,
Yeah.
it's a very,
All
if I
right.
can remember it, it's easy.
You
Yeah.
can always visit Peter's
Oh
website,
boy.
foxplans.com.
or email me at peter@foxplans.com.
There you go.
You got email, you got telephone, you got in person for a couple of days and make an appointment with him if you want to go see him. And he'll come see you and talk to you about whatever is available and whatever your situation is between now and then. Because I'm 63 years old. I'm 64 years old. I'm going to sometime between now and the end of the year, before October, I'm going to be 65. I don't have to wait till then, to the end of the year, to sign up for Social Security and to get Medicare, do I?
If you're sorry, I missed the first part.
I can get Medicare
Yeah.
anytime, as soon as I turn 65, period, right?
Yes,
And
that's
even
right.
If, even
Yes.
if it's not
Yeah.
the enrollment plan,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
not during that open enrollment. So,
Yeah.
All right, Peter.
I just want to. Can I say one other
Sure,
thing?
go ahead.
I've been seeing an advert recently that makes it seem like there's a food allowance that seniors can get
Yeah.
at $3,200. That and it really doesn't sound like it's linked to an Advantage plan, where they do mention Medicare and Medicaid and so on. That is linked to an Advantage plan. You have to qualify for Medicare and Medicaid. And so, but what they're trying to do is get anybody and everybody to phone that number, so that once you've found it, then they'll chop and change you into another plan, so that you can get, so that they can get.
It's a
commission.
scam, y'all. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. It's if you qualify for Medicaid, then but that is why they put it in there. But they're trying to make it sound a lot better than it actually is. And when I first heard it, I thought, wow, this is really.
Yeah,
This
I
is
saw
not good.
one that says $950 a month. Just
Yeah.
you go send your card, $950 a month. No, you won't.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
liar. So I don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Peter. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll be talking to you about when we're going to get you going, coming in
Yeah,
here, because
we'll-
we're not going to just abandon you between the next
Oh,
6
heck
months.
no.
Things are
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, we'll still
Well,
have
should
them
we do
coming
it once a month like we were
That
before?
would be,
were
that would be
before that.
ideal.
What about next week? Would that work? Or
Fine with me. That's the first of the month.
Yeah, that's
and
fine
then
with
we'll
me.
do it the first of each month.
First
thereafter.
Wednesday of every month,
Right.
unless it falls on a holiday Monday.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Let's do that.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
Thank
Well,
you,
thanks
Peter.
very much.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you
Cheers.
next week.
See you.
Take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about we got some fine folks on the line here, and we've also got a fine gentleman in the office here in the studio. Yes, Chris, I'm talking about you. We're gonna be talking about Wreaths Across America. So if everybody hold on for about 60 seconds, and we'll be right back.
The 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival is proud to present Justin Moore.
That's why we drank. Here's to the ones that didn't make it back home. You look look like I need a drink.
Thursday, April 3rd at Live Oak Bank Pavilion in Wilmington with Cameron Marlowe,
'Cause I'm giving you
Justin Moore.
somebody else will.
Thursday, April 3rd in Wilmington. Tickets on sale now at ncazaleafestival.org. Also performing at this year's North Carolina Azalea Festival, Flo Rida, the 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Thanks in part to the North Carolina Education Lottery. Playing and supporting the North Carolina Education Lottery creates a world of winning possibilities for the entire state. Through the fun of play and the billions we raise for education, we provide the fuel for our most important dreams. By Michael Best, a go-to strategic advisor offering full-service legal and business consulting services. Learn more at michaelbest.com. And the City of Wilmington, proud to support the 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
ncazaleafestival.org.
And that Azalea Festival is kicking off next week, so y'all need to get ready to get on down there. Chris, did you ever go to the Azalea Festival?
I did way back when I was young.
Oh, okay. You're not young now?
Well, I'm young. No, I'm young. 66 to Doc's 12.
66.
Acting like 12.
I'm older than that. I'm older than the dirt around here. Anyway, Chris, and we have a couple of guests on the line.
Yes.
And
Stephen and Andy, I hope.
Stephen and Andy. Stephen and Andy, do we have you on the line?
Yep, I'm Stephen here.
Oh.
I'm on.
Okay,
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking the time to join us this morning, and thank you really for driving that big old vehicle down here and going to display it. We're looking forward to that. Now, which one of you is not feeling well this morning?
That would be Andy. That's my dad.
Okay.
He's better today. He's
That's good.
kind of the pollen count, I think, is kind of caught up to him.
Oh, that stuff is bad for you. I can tell you that. Yeller everywhere. So, anyway, we appreciate both of you being down here today, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person in a couple of hours.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for having us and playing towards the mission to get us here. So Thank y'all for all that y'all do.
Well, a question for you. Why do you do this? I mean, you go around, you drive this big old machine around all over the country. You must be making a fortune.
Well, Reach Across America, we're actually a 501c3, so we're nonprofit. But the reason that we do this, our mission is to remember, honor, and teach. We want to remember the fallen. We want to honor those who serve. And we want to teach the values of freedom that we have to our children coming up now. So that's our mission.
Well, I like that. It's a good mission to have. And you picked Jacksonville. We've gotten kind of active with this guy named Chris Marks around here with the Race Across America over the past few years. And he's done a remarkable job, and we're proud to be hanging in there with him. And so is that the reason you picked Jacksonville to show up?
Well, he's what we call our location coordinator. So he's, kind of local to this area. And that's what brings us here. So yes, sir, Chris, he's a good guy, and he's very into the mission, very, very supportive of the Race Across America mission.
Yeah, 100%.
We're glad to be here with him in his favor today. So
well,
and Stephen, let me say this: these three people here, Rayford and Kelly and Lee, they have been so supportive of Wreaths Across America. They let me on every day to promote Wreaths Across America, and
awesome.
And they've bought wreaths. Kelly and her husband have people at the Veterans Cemetery here, and they help spread out the word about what's going on today. And I on the way over here, got to stop by, and I know you and your dad picked this morning to park the vehicle there. Great job of parking in that tight space.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
No wrecks, nothing?
Not these two.
Oh, good.
I tell you what, I'm pretty partial now. I'll brag on old Dad. He can pull some stuff, as far as getting the truck in and out. And but no, it's an overall. It's going to be a great day. It's beautiful here. Other than everything kindly green. But thank y'all very much for y'all's support into the mission, because it is a daily. It's not just a one day a year deal. It's a daily deal every year, all year long to
Sure.
support the mission and things of that nature. But what we actually have, we have what we call our mobile education exhibit, and it's a 48-foot triaxle trailer, and it transforms into a 30-person viewing room in the front, and then we have a museum storyboard in the rear. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
So that's what we're talking about here. But the goal of our MEE now on Facebook and social media, we call it the MEE, the MEE. So that's the Mobile Education Exhibit, hashtag MEE. But we bring that to our local communities and military together with education stories and interactive connections. So we can show the mission through video. We can show or express the mission via the storyboards that we have in the rear that have kind of the timeline from the very beginning to current date. And there's just many ways that, the public and family members of veterans and loved ones, that they can come and engage and become part of our family.
This vehicle, this whole thing, how many states have you covered so far with this vehicle?
Well, normally, on a good busy year, I hear kind of 40,000 miles.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So we still have to get to kind of the other side on the West Coast, like Washington, the upper West Coast, Washington State and Oregon and stuff. But when I first started, my very first tour was out to Sacramento, California, and we spent about 21 days right there on the lower West Coast. So
wow.
And then at the same year, we wound up, of course, where we're headquartered out of, which is north of Bangor in Columbia Falls, Maine. So I went from one coast to the other coast in a year's time. And you're talking about taking, the boy out of Tennessee and then putting across the nation here. So, so it's been a blessing, and it really is a great experience.
Did you get lost? Or do you have a good navigator?
I tell you what, I'm going to brag on Dad again in that area because he kept us pretty tried and true.
Okay, cool.
Well, Stephen, I hear tell that you're part of the Gold Star family.
Yes, ma'am. In 2007, Christmas Eve, we lost my brother Daniel, Corporal Daniel Lee Tatum, with the Marine Corps.
Oh.
He was actually involved in an automobile accident after his second deployment in Iraq. And the Marine Corps from not Paris Island, but Camp Pendleton, they had actually notified my family at home on Christmas morning about 10 o'clock.
Jeez.
So 07, Christmas time is when we became a Gold Star family, and my parents have really been engaged. Of course, I was 18 then. Daniel was 23. I'm 36 now, so roughly 16, 17 years we've been a Gold Star family. But as I've gotten older, I have become more active and engaged, just, and learning that it's okay sometimes to not be okay.
Well, we're so sorry for your loss.
Yes.
And thank you for what you and your family do.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Yeah, you're spreading the word and you're helping other families. I've been, like here in Jacksonville, we have the cemetery here. 7,000 in it.
So we're expecting the need of 7,000 wreaths this year.
Okay. And a lot of folks don't understand. A lot of those individuals, they were individuals. They were people. And families, they've been there for a long time. Their families may not even be here. They may be in California. They can't go over there and place wreaths out there. They may, who knows? They may be so far removed from what's going on.
Well,
they just don't do it.
Yeah, we all know my dad's buried out there.
Yep.
He's the one that got me actively involved in fundraising for Wreaths Across America many years ago. But during the course of the years of walking the graves and putting wreaths down, I found out I have a cousin buried out there.
Really?
I was just like, and I verified it. Yes, it's when he was in the Navy. He retired here and he stayed here, which I never knew.
Wow.
Oh,
crazy.
You just never know.
one of the things I'd like to mention, because I talked to Andy at length last night before I told him go to bed, get some rest for today's event, is what is going to be in the bus. And it has to do with our Vietnam veterans.
Okay.
Stephen, do you want to go ahead and
Yes,
take
sir.
the ball with that and explain what Vietnam veterans will receive?
Okay, absolutely.
Nice.
Okay, so we have been, Reach Across America has partnered and is fortunate to be partnered with the Department of Defense and the Vietnam Veterans War Commemoration, the 50th anniversary. So they've declared us in the mobile education exhibit. They've allowed that to be a mobile pinning station.
Nice.
So what we do there, and one of the most important aspects that I take truly to my heart as far as the mission and work, we get to welcome home our Vietnam era veterans. So from 1955 to 1975, if you served in the United States Armed Service, regardless of location. So you did not have to go have boots on the ground physically in Vietnam, but if you were actively in service from 55 to 75, then we have the 50th commemorative lapel pin that's issued from the Department of Defense.
That's pretty cool.
And we have a presidential proclamation that goes along with that. And then our founder, Morrill Wooster, he had designed and created a very, very special challenge coin for Vietnam era veterans only. And now challenge coins, people like them, veterans like them, and they've got them. But the only place to get this Vietnam challenge coin from Reach Across America is either in our national headquarters, which is in Maine, or on this mobile education exhibit as we travel and we land into your community, that you're able to come on. And then when you receive your lapel pin, we have this special challenge coin for you. And
That's cool.
It's sweet. It's a nice coin.
I've heard.
But, so we really love to have that era of veterans come on. And
There are
and
a lot of Vietnam era veterans around here. Joy, would you wake him up? Just talking to one of our listeners. And I know a lot of others in this neck of the woods too.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. My dad he was World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. So,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law was Vietnam 2 tours and Korea War.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dad was 3 and 1. Yeah.
What we've got is we've got signature boards. So we have a black marker, and we get the signatures of these veterans, from the era. And what it is, the signature board, it will then go from our exhibit up to the National Museum in Maine, and we'll have it on display there, throughout time. So,
I know,
and even if the ones that have passed on, that or maybe aren't able to get to us to, on the exhibit, a loved one is more than welcome and encouraged to place their name on the signature board. That way, no one's missed out. So they don't have to physically be there. And all we ask for is just, a simple signature, or you can put your years of service, your branch, anything like that. Just whatever you'd like to put down to display.
Okay. Yeah, I have a very good friend here. I've not seen him twice in the last few days. He was one of the survivors at the Tet Offensive. He's a Marine.
Yes,
So
sir.
many stories.
When I talked to Stephen's dad last night, he read me the one side of the coin.
Mhm.
One side of the coin, I believe, Stephen, is the Vietnam Veterans Wall, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
The
On the
other,
inside of the coin,
Yeah.
it is the Vietnam Memorial Wall, and then on the back side, it has a thank you note that Morrill had written to all of the Vietnam era veterans. And I don't have a coin on me right at the moment, but I don't want to go astray on it. But it's very touching. It is very touching.
It almost, right. I had to fight back the tears last night when Andy was reading it to me. And one of the things Andy had mentioned to me, this is the thank you that these Vietnam veterans deserved, right, that they never got, that they deserved back then. And these two gentlemen make a point at their stops to shake their hands, hand them these medals, these coins, and pins, and say thank you, to give them the return that they should have gotten.
I can already see now I'm going to need a box of Kleenex to get through this day.
Well, I tell you this, as soon as you step in the exhibit, don't worry, we've got them. We've got them.
She won't be the first, will she?
Yeah, no, because they know when it comes to veterans, I'll tear up in a heartbeat.
Well,
We've got
I'm
a
anxious.
short film
Okay.
on the exhibit. It's just it's about 8 minutes, and it's 3 clips of just 3 short films, if you will. And total, I think it's about 8.5 minutes. But everybody is encouraged to come out and get to experience this exhibit while we're here. We're getting ready to travel to Fayetteville this evening once we leave, Jacksonville. So we'll be in Fayetteville area for the next throughout this week.
Very good.
Yeah, I did a big story, was it a couple years ago, on how the whole thing started. And such a fascinating story, with starting with Arlington Cemetery, and then, it just spread.
Right.
It's a big deal around here.
Oh, yeah, it's a big
Yes.
deal around here. A whole
It's a
lot of
big
vets
deal.
around here.
Well, we are super stoked and excited to be here, and thank y'all for all that y'all done to get us here.
Okay, we just need about 6,000 more.
Yes.
I think 6,000 more wreaths. Is that right? We may have to be making them in here, Stephen. So you may have to give us some lessons.
But it was interesting. Stephen, I picked him up yesterday at the airport to run some errands, and Stephen got to go by to see the outside part of the Beirut Memorial.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, did you take them over there? Yes.
The Vietnam board, or
The Vietnam
the
Veterans
stone.
Memorial.
Yeah.
Yes. And the 911 Memorial. Oh, it's just a lot of history out there.
Mm-hmm. And growing.
And
growing,
the
yes.
cemetery. But they were not yesterday, day before yesterday, they were down south of us in Oak Island, Brunswick County, in that area.
Nice. Yes.
And had a good turnout. And so my hope, at least my own personal hope, is that we give them a great Jacksonville warm welcome.
I think they'll see that today. There's a lot of people planning on stopping by.
Good.
So.
We're looking forward to it.
Yes.
And while you're there, if you're there, especially around lunchtime, go in. You can get some good food there at Missions Barbecue. You can get some good food there at Missions Barbecue, and be there at noon. Be there 5 minutes till noon. Place your order, and while you're waiting, they're going to tell you to at 12 noon, 1200, straight up, stand up.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. Come sit with me.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Stephen, we will see you in a couple
Stephen, I'll
hours.
see you in a little while.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much.
All right.
I've
Thank you,
enjoyed it.
Stephen.
All right, take care.
See you in a short while.
Wow. What a remarkable
nice.
family. Yeah.
Andy was telling me also that that his son, who was killed in a motorcycle accident, lost his best friend a few years ago in a motorcycle accident here in Jacksonville.
Oh gosh.
A car had hit him, and
Well, we'll get to talk to Stephen more later.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear more about.
Yeah, we got a caller too. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know that's a call. There you are. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
What's Robin?
There's Robin. Good.
Hey, Robin.
Didn't know who it was at
I
first.
couldn't see the number.
It didn't pop up.
Oh.
That's why I shrugged my shoulders.
You're losing your step there, Rayford.
No, I've got two folks here who failed. They're the ones who can see the phone. I can't see the phone.
You got one who could, those two, because I can't see it.
It didn't pop up.
And then your number came up blocked this morning. What you trying to hide?
It's because we tried blocking him, but it didn't work.
That's such a politician answer, Rayford. Well done. Hey, I just wanted to call in. We talk about Wreaths of America, and I want to thank Chris and Kathy, not Stephanie.
Yes, Kathy, not Stephanie.
And I wanted to thank them for what they've done with Wreaths of America. I know it's big and dear to my wife's heart, for sure. She is really she supports the Wreaths of America more than anybody I know. My father is buried there. My mother's buried there. I've got a very good friend of mine whose son, who died while he was in the Army, is buried there. And people need to get out and support the Wreaths of America and what they've done. A lot of Vietnam veterans in this area, a lot of Korean War veterans still. My dad was a Vietnam veteran and a Korean War veteran. He brought Vietnam back home with him later on in life because, he suffered the effects of Agent Orange while in Vietnam, which resulted in his Parkinson's and some other health issues that he suffered. So I think it's very, very important that our people here in our community honor our veterans. There are a lot of veterans that are in that cemetery that are there and they're forgotten. A lot of the members of their families have, buried their loved ones in the cemetery, and for some reason or another, they live long distances away or whatever, can't visit them. And I think it's an honor. It's the least we could do for all the veterans that gave their lives in the line of duty or served their country and died. So my hat's off to Chris for doing this. I'm going to try to be out there today at lunch, just kind of swing by and visit. But I think all of the community should be behind it. And Chris, like you did before, anytime you want to come up before the commissioners to speak about Wreaths of America, I think that's a great idea because the louder your voice is, more people will hear you. Use that platform for what it is. Reach out to people of this community and tell them the importance of Wreaths of America mission statement, and I think it's just a noble gesture. So
thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Chris, and what you guys do. And again, I'm real proud of my wife. She's very, very adamant about it. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter what your political affiliation is, because it's all about our veterans, and it's all about those that gave their lives to us. So well done, man. Well done. I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, Robin. Appreciate your invite and inviting me in there to come and speak at the platform and to talk to the commissioners and talk to those who are watching the meetings. And I thank you for what you do.
Well, it's refreshing because, we get speakers all the time that come up to the commissioners meeting, and a lot of people, they voice their concerns on certain issues, and that's great. But, to have somebody come up and talk positively about what's going on in this community, positively about our veterans, we're always going to welcome that, and we're always going to listen intently. And, there's people that are watching that show, watching the broadcast of the commissioners, and I think it's a good platform to get your message out to the community. That's what it's there for. So anytime you want to do it, man, just show up, man. We'll listen intently and definitely pass on your message.
Well, I do want to say this. I thank you for your comments at the end of the meeting because you always have something positive to say in your commissioner's comments about Wreaths Across America. And I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. And God bless, man. Thank you, guys.
Hey, appreciate it, Robin. I'll be appearing before the county commissioners with you as soon as I get an invite from you.
Well, Rayford, we're going to have to screen your questions, so you're going to have to put your comments, set it ahead of time to our county manager so that we can scrutinize your comments and possibly edit some of the word choices that you may choose.
So in other words, I'm not invited? Is that what you mean? I don't have an open invitation?
You always have an open invitation.
Okay, it's all right. I'm going to protest. It's okay. I'm going to protest. I'll get you.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what you got to say because
I'm just going to beg for some money.
You'll grab somebody's attention, that's for sure.
There you go. We got a lot of good causes around here. I need you guys to give even more money to a couple of those causes. One
Are
of
you
them
talking
affects
about,
one of them affects
non-
you and me.
Are you talking about nonprofits?
I'm talking about Crime Stoppers.
There you go.
All right.
Oh,
Thank
hey,
you.
listen.
All right. Well, I'll get to you.
Now that you bring that up, listen, being retired law enforcement, I understand about Crime Stoppers.
Absolutely, you do.
I remember Colonel Yanessa. I remember him in the Marine Corps, and talking to him as an NCIS agent when I was here at Lejeune. And Crime Stoppers is a big program, and I fully support Crime Stoppers. And I think I can't speak on their behalf, but I feel that almost every member of the board of commissioners supports Crime Stoppers. It's a great function. It's a great message. It's a great program, and it continues. I think Donnie Worrell is still on Crime Stoppers, and I've worked with him for 30 plus years and some other people. And yeah, it's another great program that the
There
community
you go.
needs to be aware of and take advantage of it.
You thought I was going to let you get away with just saying good things this morning, didn't you? I want some money.
I want to mention that Crime Stoppers is one of my other.
I know that.
And on my way here, I had 2 phone calls from two of the Richland schools that I visited yesterday, and they're ordering lots of plates.
Okay, good.
So
We'll talk about this place a little bit later on too. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, guys.
Bye. See you.
Thank you.
Crime Stoppers is it is donation time, and you get something, and you don't get it for nothing, but you do get it for nothing. You're going to go eat some barbecue. There's another great place here, Smithfield.
Yes.
Got 2 locations in Jacksonville. You can slide on over there beginning April 1st all the way through April 30th. It's 30 days. You can go by if you get a ticket. And I know several people you can get a ticket from. One of them is just to my immediate left. And they're $10. And with this $10 ticket, it's not just a donation. You're going to get food for it. You're going to get a plate that normally costs you at least that plus tax.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saving, actually. I mean, you would go buy something that you could get for a deal anyway, and then the money, a good chunk of these proceeds go to Crime Stoppers. It's a fundraising event, and the Smithfield folks are doing a great job with it.
They do. They've been great through the years, and it does go back, and actually it goes back to the community because
yes, it does.
The people that make the tips that lead to helping law enforcement, they'll end up possibly getting a reward. It's anonymous. Their names are not ever used. And I got to tell you, every month when we meet, and Scott from JPD goes over the list of the ones that the board decides for rewards on. They're just amazing.
I don't want the reward, and I don't care if you use my name. If I find the dude, I want him to know that I done it. I mean, it never bothered me before.
Well,
when I went and arrested him, I always had to tell him who I was. I don't mind telling them now.
Well, that's good, because every time I call him with a tip, I'm going to give your name.
That's okay. Not a
come after
problem.
you.
And I don't want the reward. I'll claim it. Not a problem.
Yeah. Well, I understand if they knew something. I would definitely. In fact, I need to talk to the sheriff about something.
Yeah, well, there's some, and I understand folks who do not want to, because, there's some bad people out there walking our streets.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they are. And fortunately, there are people like you can help put them away.
Yeah. I
You
think
know who they are. They're dealing drugs in your neighborhood. Clean it up.
Didn't you say he was out of town today? The sheriff?
Yes. Chris is doing some official business, so he'll not
He's
be able
fishing.
to stop by. Fishing? He's
Not
fishing
kidding.
for some funding, maybe from the state, I think.
Probably.
I saw him at the county commissioners meeting, which he's always at. But
I'll see him on Friday.
Great sheriff.
he is a great sheriff. And Crime Stoppers, by the way, we only do one fundraiser a year. This is it.
This is a goodie.
This is it. We do take contributions,
Sure.
but it's our one fundraiser.
So if you want to get one of these tickets, it's $10. No tax involved. Just give them $10. They'll give you a ticket. And anytime between the 1st and the 30th of April, you go by Smithfield. Don't need an appointment. You go by there and you say, here's my ticket. I want chicken. I want dead pig. And here are the sides that I want. What? What it is. It's either yard bird or dead
No, I
pig.
know.
So
Lee loves your description.
It's accurate. But you're going to get that. You're going to get a nice platter and take it home with you or do whatever you want to do. Sit down and eat it.
Why can't we just say cooked pig instead of dead pig?
Well, it has to be killed first. You don't want to cook a live pig, do you? I may tell
It
you.
makes me think of roadkill
I'll
when you
tell
say
you
that.
all a story off mic about
Oh, I can't
cooking a live
wait.
pig.
I want to know about it. No, you know how I am when it comes to animals of any kind. I don't want any stories
You remember
about.
that Hollywood actress that I was telling you about that was ditzy?
Yes.
I had one working for me one time. She wasn't an actress, but she was ditzy. And I pulled one on her.
Okay.
Bad.
Oh, gosh.
It was awfully bad.
Well, we all don't
Got her
need.
riled up.
I can't even go.
She even went to the boss.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Shame on you.
Because she chewed him out, too.
Her name wasn't Jasmine, was it? Jasmine Crockett. She's
No,
really
this was
making
actually
it.
worth telling. You want to hear it?
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
she was from way up north of the Mason-Dixon line. Came to work as a producer, first job. And in TV it was anyway. She went to school for it, but hadn't gotten a job yet. So she's working, doing a pretty good job. No problem. And then one day she said, "You're from around here, right? Or originally?" I said, "Yeah." "What is this thing called pig picking?"
Oh, no.
The devil came down, tapped me on the shoulder, and he says, "Do it."
I
And
can see
did,
that.
And I did. And I said, "Well, Larissa," her name was Larissa. "Larissa, down here is kind of a thing. You've heard of grease pole and
Yes,
grease
yes,
pigs and stuff
yes.
like that. You're chasing them, trying to catch them, and grease poles. You climb them to get the money at the top. You've heard of all that? Yeah, yes, at fairs." I said, "Well, down here, what we do is when they catch the pig, 4 guys will take him with each leg, and they take him over and they tie him down on top of a grill." And they put an apple in his mouth to keep him from squealing. They don't want the people to hear him squeal. Then they set fire to him. Then after he's all done, people come, and her eyes got bigger and bigger.
Whoa, what's that number for Crime Stoppers, Chris?
And then she got mad. She said, "I'm calling PETA. I'm calling some Humane Society. I'm calling somebody. This has got to stop down here." Move down south, and then you're going to change the way we live. That's kind of my typical. But she looks over, and my anchor was sitting up there, and he was doing everything he could not to laugh. And he's stone faced, being on as an anchor for 30 years. Nothing really gets you going too much, right?
Yeah.
She goes, "Murph, yes. Did you hear what he said?" He says, "Yeah, you've never heard of that? This is the way we do it. I mean, it's an old time tradition down here in the South." Within 2 or 3 minutes, she's really ranting and raving. And the boss, the general manager, I went up to see him to tell him what I had done because I was just cracking up. He came strolling back in about 15 minutes or so, and she said, "Mr. Davis, yeah, this pig picking thing down here." And then he described what I had described. She went absolutely ballistic. Poor girl. I don't think she has ever been the same since. She probably got her a job in Hollywood as an actress.
Well, okay. Well,
I know that
okey-dokey.
Jennifer is laughing about that one, and I know that Joy is probably laughing about that because it was funny. Poor little girl.
All righty then.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing everybody at the Reese Across America Mobile Education
Get on over there.
exhibit.
Sun opens up in about an hour.
Beautiful
Yeah.
day today. A
It's
high of
all
65 and sunny is
perfect.
perfect.
It's not too hot, not too cold, and
Right.
still got some pollen, but it's okay. You'll get used to it.
Perfect weather. Come on out.
I'm-
We'll be there.
I'm going to have to leave, go set up. We have some things we have
Yes.
to set up to get ready for the crowd that we're going to have.
Right. Oh, yes.
Yeah, we hope to have a crowd. Looking forward to seeing you two there.
I'll be there. I've got
Be
to go
there.
home first and then I'll come out.
I'm
Yeah.
already home, so I just gotta go change
gotta
your
go.
shoes.
Check on the dogs, check on the animals.
But we thank you, and I just want to say, Stephen and Andy, they're worth the
Looking
trip
forward to
itself.
meeting
They
Yes.
are just to talk to Andy and Steven is just it'll bring a Kleenex, bring extra Kleenex.
That's what I'm saying. You know how I am.
telling you.
Yeah.
And for the Vietnam veterans, please come out there. This is about you.
Right.
It really is. 55 to 75 is the years that it happened. And
A lot of people don't realize it actually got underway. And I remember as a little kid watching some of the news reels that's
Mhm.
on TV.
Yeah.
And it had old black and white 16 millimeter film of the French fighting and U.S. advisors there.
Yeah.
Those were our first killed, were our advisors, non-combatants, but there's no real such thing.
No, and as I worked the phones last night, calling different Vietnam veteran groups to hear some of their stories. Yeah, it's this is well deserved, and I'm so thankful that they're here, and I look forward to getting to see these guys in a few minutes.
Yeah, Joey, wake him up, send him over.
You two and Kelly, thank you again so much for your
pleasure.
support.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just the epitome of community support,
This is what we want to do.
You know, it's,
and you do it well.
we've been hanging
thank
right
you.
in with this for several years now.
Yeah.
So
And if
No,
I get
thank
to
you.
ridicule all the politicians and things, that's fine. But this is a really good part about it. But I get to have fun with politicians.
no, I think
They're easy
they're all
targets.
for this.
Oh, I
Yeah, we
know
got them
that.
involved 3-4 years
I'm
ago.
not talking about our local guys.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about them things up there in
Eh.
the swamp.
I would like to mention this
Yeah.
because
Swamp creatures.
people can't see this; they get to see your lovely faces. But both of you are wearing your Reese Across America
I do.
I had it through my nose earlier, but
I wear it every day.
I had mine, and then a small child asked me for it.
I take mine on and off,
know.
but I always have it here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get me another one. But look forward to seeing
I know a
everybody
guy.
out there. I'll check with his better half and
Yeah.
see if they can get
Stephanie?
me one. Well, one of us stay.
No, I do
Kathy.
want to take a moment and thank Kathy too for all that she does.
Absolutely.
She does a lot of work, and she's huge in helping you and being a part of this. Being
She's
a,
not out there standing
co-part
behind him, she's
of
standing
it.
beside him. And
That's
sometimes
right.
she's leading him.
that's right.
Yeah, no
she
doubt
does a
about that.
fantastic job. I know she spends a lot of hours doing letters and emails and contacts and stuff. So it's great to have such a great partner in this.
And by the way, thank you for reaching out to the groups you reached out to last night.
Yeah.
A quick phone call. Next thing I know, she's got 5 groups. She's reaching out. She's
Yeah.
reaching
Hey.
out to the military. So we're all one big happy family, and
Yes.
thank you for everything.
Yes. Well, we live in a great community.
We do.
you know.
Perfect
We
slot
do.
for this place.
Great
do.
community we
operation.
live in.
I will see you all out there.
Thank
All
you. Good
right,
to
we'll
you
see you
shortly.
soon.
Thank
Take
you.
a quick break. You're live and local Real Talk. We'll be right back if I can find the button.
The 78th annual North Carolina Azalea Festival is proud to present the 78th annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Well, that one is a bad dub. I tell you what, I do another one though.
Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival is proud to present Justin Moore.
That's why we drink. Here's to the ones who didn't make it back home.
Thursday, April 3rd at Live Oak Bank Pavilion in Wilmington with Cameron Marlowe.
From giving you
Justin Moore.
somebody else with.
Thursday, April 3rd in Wilmington. Tickets on sale now at ncazaleafestival.org. Also performing at this year's North Carolina Azalea Festival, Flo Rida, the 78th annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Thanks in part to Rented John, the official portable restroom sponsor of the Azalea Festival. Offers reliable 24/7 portable sanitation rentals, dumpsters, and temporary fencing for all your event and construction needs. Locally owned and always ready to serve Wilmington with clean, top quality restrooms and more. By Liberty and Plenty Distillery, makers of fine and handcrafted vodka, rum, whiskey, and gin. And a proud sponsor of the North Carolina Azalea Festival. Take a sip and enjoy with spirited curiosity. And by the U.S. Army. Be all you can be with the U.S. Army. Discover careers and opportunities you never knew existed at GoArmy.com.
Any military branch is a great branch to be part of. So y'all need to get on out there. If you're graduating from high school, you just haven't quite made up your mind yet. There are educational opportunities involved with the Marine Corps, with the Navy, the Coast Guard. I'm not sure about, and Air Force. Some people call it the Chair Force, but I know some great people in the Air Force who have been in the Air Force, including an uncle. So
Just got some breaking news.
what's that?
The Atlantic reporter
Oh, yeah.
publishes more texts about the attack on the Houthi targets.
Which, thank God, is over. But, some more is coming. Now, don't you know how embarrassing is that going to be?
It's embarrassing for everybody that was involved in it.
And Trump has got to stand up here and something's got to happen.
I'm sure behind the scenes, Trump has had a lot to say.
Oh,
to
he's
his
had a lot to
cabinet
say, but it's
members
not
about
like
this.
he's not taking quite the initiative that I think he probably should be
Well,
taking,
we don't
unless he
know
is
yet.
doing it all
We-
behind the scenes.
Yeah, we don't know yet. There's
Yeah,
still
I
a
do.
lot more to come.
I do know.
Committee hearings.
I
and-
read it on his signal report that he hasn't taken.
I read it on Signal.
No, I read it on Signal.
I'm gonna send an invite to Pete, see if I can get in there.
Yeah, send one for me.
Yeah, boy's
I gotta
breaking
call
all the
him.
wires right now. Jeffrey Goldberg releases more Trump
Yeah.
Signal messages.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people use Signal, and a lot of
I'd never heard of it.
it's a texting application.
I still never heard of it.
Texting is the way of the world now. And if they choose
I
to text
text
each
now,
other
but-
like that, fine. It's like Telegram. Yeah, that's another one. But
Telegram's old school. That's
Oh,
Morse
did-
code taste.
this is a messaging app too. Signal's supposed to be the best. Signal, when you
Oh, that'll work
text,
out for us.
the text will disappear after amount of time. It's
Yeah.
encrypted. It's not supposed to be hackable, which we know
Ah.
everything is hackable. But if they chose this method of conversation, fine. But where they messed up was being careless about it. So I still think I would prefer a sit down meeting or maybe a Zoom or something, because you can tell who's on Zoom.
Uh-huh.
But it was stupid.
Not
Do I think anybody needs to be fired? And do I think that Trump needs to clean out his administration? No, let's just get it fixed, learn by mistakes, and go on.
Depends upon who it was.
And I would say the same thing no matter who was president.
I
I'm
would say
just
they
so
need to
tired of
screen
it.
people.
Well, it was, there's more to come, I'm sure. There'll be a lot more to come.
Excess says, chill out, y'all. No war plans were being exchanged. We didn't put out nothing was done that would have given anybody any hints about anything. Well, you knew it was. I knew it was coming. You know how I know it's coming? When they start practicing a lot over here at Bogue Field. Seriously.
Yeah.
When they got night after night after night after night, and those little Ospreys are flying back and forth with the 53s intermixed with them. Yes, I know that something's generally up. I don't know if they're training for one thing in particular, but they're working all around the clock.
Well,
I mean-
it brings to mind, there was a helicopter up over the house last night. I guess they were training, whatever.
That would be news if I did not have a helicopter over the house at nighttime.
True. But I really thought this one was going to land in the street. That's how loud and close it was.
In 1976, when I moved to Wilmington,
scared me.
I had withdrawal. I didn't hear any helicopters in those days. There were no helicopters. We had almost no flight. I don't even know that there was a med flight going in and out of the hospitals at that time. Helicopter? Never. If there was a helicopter there was a problem.
I've been at my daughter's house in Hampstead and been outside. Some of those jets
Yeah.
will come out of nowhere and fly low over the house. I have actually face planted in the yard because they come out of nowhere and they come down. Whew.
A lot of them go up and down the beach.
Yes,
'cause,
Well, she lives right on the edge of the water.
You can fly low
Yeah.
over the beaches and stuff like that because you're not overpopulated area. So they practice some low level runs like that. So
Right.
I know that.
I
Not a
said
big
this
deal.
to
It's
you.
okay.
All the past queens for the Azalea Festival last year, remember, was Sharon Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
I like her. Carly Basson the year before, Nia Franklin, Victoria Huggins, Ann Hawthorne, Brianna Vinskus. And some of these, I have no clue who they are,
Yeah, I'm
but
sure
it
you
goes
don't.
all the way back to the very beginning.
Miss
I was
White
trying
was the
to-
first one, 1948.
I was trying to see Jacqueline White, 1948.
Yep.
And then Martha Heyer, 1949. Greg Sherwood. 1950. That's, I'm not gonna say Margaret Sheridan, 1951. And it goes on. I posted a link on our page here in our comments, but
So stay tuned if you would
Yeah.
like tickets to the Azalea Festival concert with Justin Moore next week. It's going to be next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. Going to be in Wilmington. You might want to keep listening because I'm going to ask a couple trivia questions. When I get the word that those are in the mail that are on the way to me, I will start to give them away. Y'all.
Yeah.
So
I looked this up because I was trying to find the Ditsy Blonde, and I don't know which.
that would have been about 1990 something or another. 1, 2, 3. She was on one of those nighttime funny shows.
Funny.
I'm trying to think what the name of the show is. It had some other stars in it. That let me see who was in that thing. Was that Hanks in that one?
1990s, you had Kim Morgan Green.
Nope.
Rebecca Arthur. Kate Collins.
Rebecca Arthur. See what she looked like.
She's blonde. She was 1989, which is close enough. Kate Collins, Tanya Walker.
Kate Collins was a astronaut's daughter.
All right. Claire Carey.
Remember her? She's a nice lady.
Then Kelly Ripa, of course.
Kelly was my girl.
Laura Sisk. And then Laura.
Back on the days of
Bonariga.
when they had chips on. Remember the Highway Patrol show out of California?
Oh,
Chips?
I watched that religiously.
Remember the female that was on there?
Yeah.
She had kind of a deep voice. I think her last name was actually Hernandez or something. She was, but that's her real name was Hernandez. And then
I
she
remember
used
Punch. That's all I remember.
Oh, then she used a stage name too for her acting stuff. But beautiful girl. She had been a Dallas cheerleader.
Oh, okay.
Before she became a TV star.
Here's one, Sydney Penny. I remember her. I liked her.
She was on. She was in movies with, as a little girl, 15-year-old girl. She was on a movie with Clint Eastwood. Paint Your Wagons or Paint the Desert, whatever it was.
There was a musical made from that. Yeah.
But anyway, she was in that movie, and one of the other guys that was in that movie had moved to Carolina Beach. He was in that movie and a lot of other stuff. He was also known as the commissioner on Batman.
Oh, yeah.
He lived in Carolina Beach. So,
yeah. So didn't Andy Griffin live over there off of
Figure Eight Island,
Yeah.
Figure Eight area somewhere.
Right,
I think he had a
right.
house there. I don't.
Yes,
think
that's
he
what I
didn't live
remember.
there.
I remember.
Anyway.
Talking about, and there's Gina Tognani.
Yep.
She's blonde. Lauren
wasn't her.
Roman.
Laura Roman, she was in a movie, but she wanted to go diving. She was a diver.
It's going to be up to you to look at all the. I sent you the link.
It's a lot of fun times that were happening there. And the thing is, there's so many volunteers of this group, like 700 volunteers that are involved with the Azalea Festival. They don't get paid.
Yes, I have a
And
very good friend.
they work year round doing this kind of stuff too. My Lord.
Yeah, I have a good friend that works with them. I know she was very involved in it last year.
Yeah.
So
back when I was shooting film, I was the photographer, and over that 3 days, I'd run through
Right.
about 3,000 frames, and that's on film. Not
Very
like
good.
shooting digital, where
Very
you can
good.
shoot 3,000 frames in 2 minutes
very good.
and delete all those you don't want. But anyway, that was a fun time. Okay, we will see you tomorrow morning, and we may have somebody from the Azalea Festival tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
We're
we've
working on
got
it right now.
our favorite sports editor, Chris Miller, will be calling in, getting up to date on March Madness.
I just want to
And of
know about
course-
the azaleas tomorrow from him.
Well, I'm calling my friend this
I
afternoon.
want to know if they're blooming in his yard yet.
I'm calling my friend this afternoon, asking her. She's works on the Azalea Festival too. So, and Tim Thomas, our favorite donkey man, will be in tomorrow. And then I've got things setting up, looking very good for next week.
Good.
So,
Sounds good to me. Okay, you're live and local, real talk, and we're going to be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Well,
Yes,
we're
we
back
are.
here early, and it won't be bright when we get here.
Yeah, I'm never bright at that time of the morning.
Have a good rest of your day.
All right.
Watch out for the pollen. We'll see you in the morning.